Well, Duke, where the hell are we going today?
We're gonna go to Pinchabalio's record ranch.
Oh, Lord, not that asshole again. Bless his heart.
The same. Now get on your horse.
Well, hey everybody from the great state of Texas. It's time for Pinche Bolio's Record Ranch. I am Bolio, and today I'm going to be talking about the Beatles Revolver box that just came out, what, a month ago? Something like that.
Course, you truly can't be a Beatles fan until you learn how to do the voices. And I don't think I'm actually doing a very good job right now.
I got to warm up a little bit if I'm going to be doing impersonations. But, hey guys, I'm going to tell you right up front, this is not going to be a positive review. Alright? Let's just cut to the chase here. I don't own the box set. I have no intention of buying the box set. And I'll explain my reasons why as this video progresses. What I do have, however, is the digitally remastered Evil Bastard version of Revolver, which I actually think is the best sounding copy I've ever heard. And I used to have, 20 years ago, I had the original US pressings of both the stereo and the mono, which were And then I also had the British version of Revolver on cassette tape, which I upgraded in my senior year of high school on CD. And I think the cassette tape was better than the CD. And that's saying something because cassette tapes usually suck, right? But, I'm actually quite happy with this, so I have no reason to go out and buy the album again. But mostly the reason I'm holding this up, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on, but just wanted something to hold up a couple times. I don't own the album, I don't own the box set, and I'm going to be talking about it. Okay, well, what the hell's going on with this? Well, what prompted this was about 3 weeks ago, I saw an unboxing video, and, it's the same thing. The guy's voice is off camera. The camera's fixated on the shipping box that got dumped off at his front door. And you see one of these things, you've seen them all, right? It's just consumer porn. Here's the box, the guy's cutting it open. Ooh, oh. He opens up the box, there's another box inside. Ooh, ah, you gotta open that box. Then there's the Revolver box set, encased in foam, and he's got oh my god, it's got foam on it, it's so cool. He takes the foam off, and then here comes the list of complaints. There's a nick on the spine of the slipcase. He's got to complain about that. He notices that the font, or typeface, that was used for the word revolver on the slipcase itself is slightly different than what was used in 1966. There's a slight variation. You have to really look close. But he's got to bitch about that. Then he's got to complain about the fact that they don't have the British, flip back covers. It's like this, just one, like an American album cover. So he's got to grumble about that. And then he throws the records on gram scale. They're all supposed to be 180 gram, and they're clocking in at like 165 grams, 172 grams. So he's got a bitch about that. Then, last but not least, he pulls out. He's got this record. It's the stereo remix. It's a record one. Now, halfway off the very last track on side one, and halfway onto the dead wax, there's a little blemish that he notices. And his comment in the video is, well, I don't know what that is, but I don't think I like that. And I looked as closely as I could, on the TV screen. It looks like extruder burn, to be honest with you. So if any of you don't know what extruder burn is, let me take a minute to educate you. When you are pressing records, you've got, in this case with black vinyl, you've got black PVC material going through a hopper into an extruder, and your extruder melts and churns and mixes the material so it becomes this almost Play-Doh-like consistency. Not completely Play-Doh consistency, but almost. But the end result is a puck, and this is the puck that goes into the press with the labels, and then press goes down, and there's your record. Well, with extruders, you need to have them very, very hot. Because if you don't, if the temperatures are a little too cool, you get label tears, and even worse. Well, label tears are bad, but what's even worse is sometimes you can introduce extraneous surface noise into the recordings. If it's a little too cool, you haven't warmed it up and kind of gotten all the junk out or whatever, that's in the PVC. Not that there's junk in there, it's just, there's, I don't know what it is. It just has to be more, it's kind of like chicken. If you put chicken in the oven and if you don't let it go long enough, it looks okay on the outside, but it's pink inside. It's kind of like that, So you got to make sure that it's nice and warm. But if it's too hot, then I'll show you this right here on this puck. See this little tail on the end of it? If it's too hot, then instead of this being black, this little area is a dark gray. And when this puck goes into the press, and this is dark gray, or light gray sometimes, that's a sign of the material burning. And when the press closes, you'll have a perfectly black record, but then there'll be this little gray spot close to the dead wax. And sometimes they can cause sound issues, other times they don't. Usually, in my experience, just toss them out, There's usually not too many of them. They get caught pretty quick. Oh, shit. Oh, okay, got to lower it down like 5 degrees. That's it. You got 5 or so that, have a little extruder. Throw them in the fail pile, just rerun them. But I guess with GZ or, I don't know. I mean, whoever pressed, I guess maybe they thought it was okay. Or, hey, I could be wrong too. Maybe it was an extruder burn. Maybe it's a little blemish in the stamper or something. But anyway, I don't know what this is, but I don't like it. Well, if it passed QC, I'm sure it's probably fine. But this guy was just nothing but complaints. And just cold and clinical with his approach to the box set. And after I, ran to the bathroom and got some aspirin because I'd been grinding my teeth so bad from watching this video, I poked around on YouTube Music and found that the entire box set is readily available for listening there. So I've heard the new remix, and I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think that I don't think that remixing it has improved the sound quality, made it any better. Moving things around on the stereo sound field so that it's not like the original where you got the vocals coming out of one speaker and the instruments coming out of the other. Didn't really do much. It's just a dud. And that's the first record. The second record is the original mono mix. And I had a mono pressing of Revolver, again, like I said, about 20 years ago, and I never really played it. I mean, except a couple of times where I was, showing friends or whatever, just little variances in the mix. Like there's something that comes in a little bit sooner than it does on the stereo, or some kooky thing like that. It really doesn't make a lick of difference. No, I mean, I think Revolver sounds better in stereo. Compressing it to one channel just takes some of the fun out of it. So that's a dud. And then the double album that comes with it, it's all studio session outtakes. Yeah, I mean, I kind of got my fill with all the outtakes and demos and crap like that back in the 90s with the Anthology series. So, and then of course you got the coffee table book that comes with it, and from what I've seen, it just looks like it's more photographs than actual text, because people read them pictures pretty good. I don't know. I think the thing is a cash grab as far as I'm concerned. I hate to be cynical about it, but let me explain why I think it's a cash grab. I mean, first of all, if you put the Beatles' name on anything, there will be people out there that will buy it. So that's a given. I mean, you could have a Beatles butt thermometer, right? Somebody will go out there and buy it. Oh my God, I gotta have it, And really what I'm thinking about is the fact that in 2017, we got this guy, the 50th anniversary remix of Sgt. Pepper. Now, this being a very complex recording and complex mix, especially considering that it was, you know, multiple tracks of audio, and then they had to jam it all onto a 4-track mix, and then condense that down to 1 track and add more things. And, you know, this thing was a nightmare to create, but they did it, and it still sounded good. But, you know, now we can go back and go pull out all the original multi-track elements and remix the thing from scratch, and it's cleaner, and it's fresher, and it's more extravagant and insane sounding than it was back in '67. You got things bouncing back and forth and swirling around and all that good stuff. And the point I'm trying to make is that the remix of Pepper was justified because of that. We can now go back and really improve it. And I, like everybody else in 2017, once Pepper came out, thought, well, shit, if this sounds this good, then what about some of the other Beatle albums? Well, that got answered very quickly. 2018, we got the White Album. 2019, we got Abbey Road. We were going to get Let It Be in 2020, but that was the year that everybody decided to go ape shit, so we didn't get Let It Be until last year, 2021. Now we have Revolver. And there's one thing that I didn't think of, and I don't think other people have thought of either, is that with remixing everything from scratch, Sergeant Pepper is really wild and crazy. It's got a lot of sound effects and overdubs on there. So like I said, it's justified to go back and try to clean it up. The White Album and Abbey Road and Let It Be, these are scaled back, stripped down albums. They don't have all the outlandish stuff that Pepper does. So if you go back and remix everything, yeah, it's a little smoother, a little cleaner sounding. But does it really justify going out and buying the album again? I mean, if you already own like an original pressing, or, you know, you got the box set that's got all the albums in it, do you really need to go out and get another copy? I just don't think so. But anyway, that's my opinion. So, yeah, I think it sucks. And I'm usually not one for doing reviews of individual albums. This is the first for me. But I had to throw my 2 cents in. So I just, you know, forget it. Now, there is one thing I did want to bring up with this. Like I said, this is the remastered version. And like most of you guys out there already know, they pulled out the master tapes, they copied them to digital, and then they were remastered, and then the digital files were cut to lacquers by Sean McGee at Abbey Road back in 2012. The reason I wanted to bring this up, is this copy I actually got about a year ago at Walmart for $20. And because everybody complained about how bad it sounded, oh, it's digital, I got worried after I walked out of the store with this thing. I was like, oh man, does it really sound like a bad CD? You know, I mean, is it really going to be that harsh and that crispy and antiseptic sounding? This thing, no. This has not been cut by Sean McGee. As a matter of fact, it looks like everything was done 100% in-house at GZ Media, or GZ. So I don't know what the story is on that, but any of you guys out there, if you got any information about this and can fill in some gaps or, you know, whatever, I'd be curious to know. So, because this, I know you guys are complaining about that box set with the Sean McGee lacquers, but this really is nice. It really is nice. So, anyway, that's about it for today. I just wanted to get that out there before I forgot about it. And, you know, it wasn't a hot and happening topic anymore. So, anyway, Pitchy Bolio, say I'll catch you guys later.